In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make pop rock music. And to do that, I remade a very popular song right now called Mystical Magical by Benson Boone. And I'll break down my remake of the song's elements, the sounds of those elements, the mixing, the structure and arrangement, all that jazz. So hopefully by the end of this tutorial, you can make a song in a similar pop rock style to this one. Set the tempo around 120 BPM, start off by making some very synthy chords. A good resource to make chords like this is just chord.com. I use it all the time, not a sponsor. You just put in whatever key you're using and it gives you these awesome chords that you can lay out here. I use 3 presets from Vital to accomplish this sound. Overall, I use this preset over here from MHA's Sound Bank Volume 3, this sound over here from the same sound bank, and this one over here as well. So this one in the middle over here is a default normal type of synth, and then the rest are just for some extra texture to fill up the background, so aim for some very synthetic synth sounds for these chords. And then for the mixing, all I have on here is an EQ that takes out a great chunk of the lows over here just because we want the bass line that we make later to stand out more prominently with those lows than these unneeded messy lows, and we don't want those to counteract with each other at all. And then boosting a tiny bit of the highs over here as well just for some extra crispiness in the mix with this synth sound. And then a slight sidechain over here just because this is such a full synth sound and we want the drums to be heard and hit hard on each beat, so the slightest bit of sidechain will help make that happen more prominently in the mix. Next, chop up those chords into piano. These are just the same exact chords as earlier, just using the chop feature over here in the piano roll. And I use 2 piano presets from Flex to accomplish the sound. I use this one over here and this one over here as well. This one's more of a higher end piano sound, and this one's more of a mid to lower end piano sound, and putting them all together makes it a very full piano sound. And for the mixing, the same exact EQ and the same exact sidechain from the synth chords for the same exact reasons. Next, to make a bass line from those chords and put it into some bass presets. For the bass notes, I would strongly recommend only using notes that are present in the chords that you have made, and then just experimenting around with it and some rhythms to make it sound pretty groovy in the mix. I ended up getting something like this, and it sounds sort of something like this. It's the same overall pattern of notes. It goes like this, this, and this, just with some added extra notes to kind of connect with those sections. Again, nothing too crazy. The note lengths here are very similar and nothing too choppy or anything like that. Just a very standard bass line to add some groove to the mix. And I use 2 bass guitar presets from Flex to accomplish this sound. I use this one over here, and last but not least, this one over here. This is where we really get into that rock flair with this pop rock song. We have an acoustic, hard-hitting, gritty bass over here. This is where you get more of that texture over here, and then this is just for some more lower end support. The only mixing I put on these 2 bass presets is this Fruity Blit Overdrive. Nothing done to it, just a preset thrown in here, just for some extra amplification in the mix and some extra distortion to give it that rock edge to this pop rock song. Next, take the same bass line and put it into a guitar preset. This is a technique I use in some of my own songs as well, just to really fill up the mix more in the background. It's some extra pattern that we already know works well in the song, and just putting it in a mid sound that fills up the background more can help make your mix sound more full. And I use this guitar preset from Flex to accomplish this sound. Next, duplicate the melody from the vocals and put it in a string melody. Again, this just helps to fill up the mix a little more. It takes all the essence of your vocals and just puts it instrumentally in the background and really helps to add more power to the sonic elements in the song. I use 3 string presets from Flex to accomplish this sound. I use this one over here, this one over here, and last but not least, this one over here, all staccato presets as well. Now for the drums. You want to kind of really toe the line between the acoustic and synth elements of these drums. I'm starting off with this kick over here. Pretty hard hitting, but also soft at the same time. And then I layer 2 snares over here. This is the first one. Pretty snappy and synthetic. And then this is the last one over here. More of like a lo-fi-ish type snare. Together, the pattern sounds like this. And this is just the same pattern repeating over and over again. It fits really well with the bass line. And then I made a hat loop over here. I layered 4 different acoustic and synthetic hats over here. And for the pattern, I just did fill each 2 steps. And just adding a similar drum loop in the background just to really amplify the overall essence of these drums and give it more of a fuller sound. And altogether, the drum loop sounds like this. sounds like a very healthy mix of acoustic and synthetic elements. Now for some effects. Leading up to the chorus, I just have 2 sweeps. This just helps to add some tension to the start of the chorus, building up all that excitement. And then when the chorus starts, I have 2 crashes. I have this one over here, more of an acoustic cymbal crash, and then this one over here, more of a synthetic downlifter. Now for the structure and arrangement of this track, for the sake of the tutorial, I only made the chorus of this song. For example, you can start off with the piano chords over here and then maybe add in the bass line to come in. Just start off very small and build up, build up, build up until you get to the big chorus over here, which just has everything all together. You have the vocals, the string melody, the chopped piano chords, the synth chords, the guitar, the bass line, the full drum loop, and the effects as I demonstrated earlier as well. And after all that, here's the final result. 'Cause it feels so mystical.